Hello, it's me, French Ted, and we are here for episode number 52. I literally just checked it. 52. I'm going to say 52. It's the one after Blood and Guts, which was a pretty interesting event. To me, it's slightly underperformed, even though we got some really great ratings. I don't know, I had a bigger score in my head, but that's fine. We're past that now. We've got a new world champion. We've got the debut of Prince Devitt tonight on Dynamite. A new women's world champion as well, among many other interesting things that happen. And of course, Adam Cole is now in Ring of Honor. You probably thought I was joking, but I'm not. But I do have an interesting thing to show you about Adam Cole since being in Ring of Honor. I'll get to that after Dynamite. So in between Dynamite and Collision, there'll be a little... What's Adam Cole already up to in Ring of Honor? Because it's kind of laughable. But yeah, we're here with Dynamite. We've got a fun show tonight. As mentioned, we've got the debut of Prince Devitt. And there were the two cut matches from Blood and Guts. So the main event of tonight's Dynamite is El Generico defending his TNT title against Keith Lee. And the main event of Collision is Jamie Hayter and Britt Baker in their street fight match. So those unfortunately didn't make the cut of Blood and Guts, but they will definitely be one hell of a main event on both shows. But we're here in Dynamite. Let's start in the pre-show. Hikaru Shida and Deonna Purrazzo are here. This is a technical masterclass match. I just thought I'd give it a go, see what happens, and did pretty well. 69 overall. Deonna with a 61. Hikaru Shida really hitting the ground running now with a 75. She's been really, really good. And yeah, decent opening pre-show match. I think we've got one more and then we're on to the main show. And we are kicking off with Prince Devitt's debut match. Straight into it, and he is facing Swerve Strickland in his opening match. But we do have this next pre-show match, which is a tag team match. And it is the Guns taking on the Von Erichs. And hilariously, the Von Erichs, who we haven't seen in a while, get better scores than the Guns. I mean, the Guns get the win, but Marshall Von Erich carries the match in terms of ring performance. And I don't know what's happened to the Guns, but they've been really poor lately, and it sucks because I really want to push them. Like, I think they're a great little duo. So something's got to happen. We'll see. But that happened, I guess. The Guns win, but in a very underwhelming match. 55 overall. Yeah. Sucks. Might have to sit them on Rampage for a bit, see if they can get some wins momentum there, see if that makes a difference. But I believe that's the final pre-show segment. Let's hopefully head straight into the main show, where it is Prince Devitt taking on Swerve Strickland in his AEW debut. There we go. 74. Not bad. I will take that. And about that had good wrestling and decent reaction from the crowd. Prince Devitt gets the win in 23 minutes 58 with the double knee gut buster. That's an interesting finisher. Prince Devitt with a 79. Decent. Swerve with a 72. Not bad from Swerve. And they've got pretty great chemistry as well, which is good. Awesome. Obviously the gimmick isn't showing here because he debuted the gimmick at Blood and Guts. I think his gimmick was Prince, something like that. I don't know. Either way, 74, not too bad. We'll take that. And following this, obviously he is now celebrating in the ring because, you know, why not? He's just had his debut. He's won a great match against Swerve, and some very familiar music that we haven't heard in a long time hits. Anyone want to take a guess? I'm going to try and do it. Bam. Banana, 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 bam. And he is back. MJF is back after his long hiatus since the fallout from Battle of the Belts 3, I believe it was. Not 3. Battle of the Belts 7 or 8, but it was the MJF Adam Page 3 match. He's back, and he just comes out interrupting Prince Devitt's debut and just says, grabs the mic and just says, "Miss me?" And obviously the crowd, it's a mixture. They're going, "Oh yeah, MJF, MJF," and other people are like, "Oh fuck off, you're ruining Prince Devitt's debut." And Prince Devitt's obviously in the ring just being like, typical MJF, ruin the party. He's got like a little bit of a smirk on his face. When suddenly Swerve Strickland attacks Prince Devitt from behind, and MJF comes waltzing into the ring and joins in to attack Prince Devitt. Swerve and MJF forming a partnership? Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, MJF really beating down Prince Devitt. Swerve picks him up. MJF gets his little golden Dynamite ring out of his pocket, and bam, straight in the face of Devitt, who is just knocked out cold. So yeah, welcome to AEW, Prince Devitt, and MJF is the one to welcome you, unfortunately. So that is how we open Dynamite, with a real explosive debut and return. And what does this mean for the New Wave? It is a team that we haven't seen much of, but they have explained in the past, we're not glued to the hip, we're just here to support each other. But it seems like Swerve may have been talked into a different kind of partnership or team, but we'll have to wait and find out more. I'm sure MJF will spill the beans at some point, but that is how we open Dynamite, with a huge return from Maxwell Jacob Friedman. Following this, though, we head backstage where Demi Bennett is flexing her world championship because, of course, she is a Collision woman, but she's now over on Dynamite just because she can. And she's out here, she's mocking a 100 rated segment. Oh my god. She's mocking AJ Mendez, just being like, you are a fraud of a champ, I easily beat you, this is laughable. Like, you wanted competition, I guess I was too much competition. And obviously Saraya is there as well, a fellow Bullet Club Gold member with AJ Mendez. They're both kind of like keeping their mouths stum because Demi Bennett is much bigger than both of them and has proven how tough she is. But Shida walks into the frame demanding a match against Demi Bennett, saying, you didn't beat me, I didn't lose, I deserve a proper title match. That belt is mine. I carried that for goodness knows how long. I put that title on the map in 2023. So it looks like she is challenging Demi Bennett. Well, will Demi Bennett give it to her? She kind of just scoffs. She was like, okay, whatever. I'll see you losers on the other side. I'm heading back to Collision, where none of you are. And yeah, Demi Bennett just really playing up the kind of cocky heel persona. And yeah, Hikaru Shida wanting a match, and AJ and Saraya kind of tucking their heads in a little bit, because I think they realise how dominant Demi Bennett is. I mean, AJ experienced it firsthand. So very different character from these two that we normally see. But that's just the Demi Bennett effect, I assume. Following this, though, we do get some tag team action, and I find this incredible. So I don't know if you guys remember, quite a few episodes ago now, I was talking about how New Japan is really screwing me over because I had a lot of their talent on handshake deals, and they were always picking New Japan over me. And so what I did is I just hired them all on exclusive contracts. One person I couldn't hire on an exclusive contract was Will Ospreay, who is New Japan loyal according to his stats and his profile. I've tried to sign him exclusive numerous times, and he says, due to my loyalty to New Japan, I ain't signing with you, mate. So I kind of gave up on that. So every week when I book a Dynamite, I'm like, is Will Ospreay available? He says yes. Is Will Ospreay available? He says yes. I've gone onto his profile like today or just before this, and he is still New Japan Pro Wrestling loyal, but his order of priorities is now AEW first, New Japan second. So I don't know what we've done. I assume it's because we've gone to big status, maybe, but Will Ospreay is now first choice when it comes to AEW, or AEW is now first choice when it comes to Will Ospreay. So following that, we've got a tag match with Will Ospreay in it. It's Ospreay and Archer, and they are taking on Miro and Coughlin, which I assume would have been a really, really fun match in real life. And in a 76 racing match, which is about that had good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd, Ospreay and Archer get the win when Will Ospreay pins Alex Coughlin with the Storm Breaker. Excellent performance from Will Ospreay here in 88. Archer a little bit On the poor side with a 69, Coughlin stepping up massively with a 70. Hello. And Miro with a... Oh, got a hiccup then. 79. So yeah, really good performances all round except for Archer, but Coughlin stepping up. We love to see that. And this match got the crowd buzzing. Did I book this as anything? Oh, steal the show. Okay. I mean, it got the crowd buzzing, so it did its job. And yeah, just a simple tag match. I don't think there's anything more to this than just that. But following this, we got some singles women's action, and it is Kairi Sane taking on Billy Starks. And then about that had decent wrestling. 66, again, that's a really good performance for these two women. But little heat, Kairi gets the win against Billy Starks. Billy Starks, someone who I've been a fan of for a very long time. Also, I didn't realize how young she was. She's like 18, 19. I think in this game, now that we're in 2024, I think she's like 19, 20. But still, she has got years ahead of us, and I have no doubt she'll be a star in AEW in the future, in game and potentially in real life. But this time though, Kairi is the one that gets the win in 13 minutes with the insane elbow. Kairi with a 72 and Billy Starks with a 46, which, you know, isn't bad. Not the best, but it's better than the Guns. But yeah, good performance here. 66, that's really good for kind of like, I'd say this kind of like a mid-card women's. I mean, Kairi's a top talent, don't get me wrong, but, you know, she's kind of sitting in our mid-card at the moment when it comes to, you know, overness, popularity, things like that. But after this segment though, Juice Robinson has come down to the ring and he is calling out CM Punk. He says, what you did and what you've been doing to Jay White is unacceptable. He's my boy. We've been together since day one. And you know what, Punk? If you're not going to be direct and start with him or want to face him, you can face me. So I'm calling you out, Punk. I'm challenging you. Enough is enough. Me and you next week on Dynamite. I'll be waiting. So Juice Robinson getting serious for a moment and calling out CM Punk in honor, I would say, of Jay White, who has had a really rough few weeks, losing his international title because of CM Punk to Pentagon Jr. and then losing his AEW World Heavyweight Championship in a crazy match where the cell broke open, allowing Punk to come in and, you know, ruin Jay White's day, with John Moxley taking advantage of that situation. 82 rated segment, not bad. I gave Juice some mic time because he has got some decent mic skills, which probably brought this down a little bit, but hey ho, it's all good in the hood. We head backstage now where Brie Garcia is talking to... Oh yeah, we're changing Juice's thing. Great, well, hey, extremely marketable gimmick, will sell far more merchandise. Losses do not damage popularity much. Oh, that's decent. Cool. We changed it to an opportunist because his previous gimmick was rated as like poor or something. So he's now an opportunist, and he's taken this opportunity to challenge Punk. But we do head backstage now to Brie Garcia, who kind of makes a statement. She says that her husband, Bryan Danielson, was kind of screwed out of the Blood and Guts match. It should have always been a one-on-one. That's what Daniel Garcia wanted. That's what Bryan wants. Adam Cole and Strong had no business being there. So Daniel Garcia, if you will, Bryan Danielson wants a rematch, 1-on-1. Let's settle this and let's put the belt on the line and let's give people a match of the year. So Brie really flexing her skills here, and Bryan in full support of it, because, you know, Bryan wants that match. I think Bryan wants a title. It's been a very long time since he's had a belt around his waist, and the World Light Heavyweight Championship I think would look pretty good around Bryan Danielson's waist. So we just have to wait for Daniel Garcia to respond and let us know what the answer is. An 85 rated segment, very nice. After this though, we do have another interview. Renee has managed to get hold of MJF and Swerve Strickland, and she just says, well, MJF, first of all, welcome back, and Swerve, what the hell, what's going on? MJF just takes over and just says, look, I've had time to think, you know, I've had a few holidays, you can see I've caught a lovely tan, I've been in the gym, I'm looking in the best shape of my life, and I was just kind of waiting for a reason to come back. And of course the AEW World Heavyweight Championship is something that I want and something that I will get back as soon as possible. But I saw the announcement the other day of Prince Devitt, and I don't know, it annoyed me because, he was an indie darling. He came back. He went to, WWE. I'm going to call him out. Who cares? Tony Khan, sue me. To WWE. He couldn't make it there, so now he's come crawling back to AEW, who he probably thinks are small time, but in fact we are the best company in the world, kind of thanks to me, MJF. And he just thinks he can waltz in, parade around, and get this huge showcase and affair, when that's not how it works in AEW, aka the MJF show. I'm the one that gets the parade. I'm the one that gets the showcase. And I think he needs to knock himself down a peg or two. Prince Devitt. Kind of egotistical, calling yourself Prince. Am I right? And Renee just says, okay, MJF. Swerve, like, what was the reason behind your attack? And she was like, and you're a member of the new wave. Is this something that maybe you've departed from? Has MJF coaxed you into teaming up with him? Like, what's happening? And Swerve Strickland just leans forward and just says, money talks, Renee. Money talks. And he kind of like laughs to himself and walks off. And then MJF just kind of looks at Renee and just says, have you done your hair differently? And then he just walks off. MJF is back, and it seems like he's paying Swerve to help him with his plan, which I'm assuming is targeted at Prince Devitt. So once again, welcome to AEW, Prince Devitt. You now have a big old MJF shaped target on your back with a little bit of Swerve in the corner. But this does lead us to our main event, the match that should have been on Blood and Guts. El Generico defending his TNT championship against Keith Lee. Keith Lee, who earned this opportunity in a triple threat match, a three-way match, because the previous number one contender, Drew Galloway, had a bit of an altercation in messaging 12-year-olds on social media. Thankfully, he was just bullying the 12-year-old and it wasn't something else. But in Drew Galloway's absence, he has obviously lost that number one contendership, and Keith Lee has well and truly earned it in one hell of a three-way match. So let's see how he fares in this match against El Generico, AEW's own superhero. Let's find out. Oh, an 87. Wow, look at these guys go. Don't know how I got an 87 because an 1882 performance, but either way, in a bout that had great wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd, Keith Lee gets the win. He has dethroned El Generico and is now our new AEW TNT champion. What a couple of weeks, months it's been for Keith Lee. There was the fallout of Bullet Club Gold, him choosing to depart from Bullet Club Gold, go it alone, and a couple weeks later, he's got a title around his waist / over his shoulder. And he is our new AEW TNT champion. And yeah, just simple road agent notes. Were there any negatives? Penalised for decline in physical ability, and the announcing is low experience. That's fine. Who cares about that? But an 87 rated main event, you love to see it. And that is how we end our show. Keith Lee celebrating with his new championship. But we do have two post-show Twitter announcements. The first being that Chris Jericho is our new he's our Excalibur replacement. CM Punk versus Juice Robinson will be our main event next week on Dynamite. CM Punk has agreed to this. Juice Robinson is more than happy to try and shut CM Punk up. So that'll be our main event for next week on Dynamite. And one more major announcement. Mercedes Moné is done with her filming and she will return to Dynamite next week. That is very exciting, especially because of Swerve's maybe new wave exit. Maybe she'll have something to say about that, along with Ricky Starks and Daniel Garcia, but we will have to wait and see if anything comes of that, because Daniel's got quite a bit on his plate with Bryan Danielson. Ricky is just Ricky Starks, and maybe Moné doesn't want to make that her priority when she returns. But that is how we finished Dynamite. Let's see how we did. An 86 rated show. Wow, go on. Nice. Lots of things happening here. Got some really solid matches across the board. Demi Bennett proving that she is, showing off. And also she did prove that she is a beast of a woman and not someone to take lightly. MJF is back. I'm very excited. You can't see my smile, but I'm smiling. Swerve teaming up with MJF, that's going to be an interesting dynamic. And of course, the main event, brand new champion Keith Lee begins his reign as the TNT champion. And the form that he's been in lately, I can't see anyone coming close to defeating him. But I'm sure there will be a slew of challengers. But let's stop here. We'll have a little break in between Dynamite and Collision because I need to show you what the fuck Adam Cole has been up to. All right, I'll see you guys there. All right, so here we are in Ring of Honor. We're going to see what Adam Cole has been up to, but I also just want to kind of show you what's been happening in general with Ring of Honor because it's been quite interesting and exciting. We've hired David Marquez, who's got really good business skills as the CEO. Joe Belcastro had the highest booking skills of anyone that was available, so we brought him in as well. They're 5th in the world, which I think is pretty good. Let's just tour the company, see who their biggest talents are. Eddie Kingston, Claudio, Ray Phoenix, Pentagon, and Jordan Omos is slumming it down there, who you can see is a giant. One thing about this boy, Eddie Kingston, let me try and get to him here. Unfortunately, he is out injured, badly herniated spinal disc. He's out for about a year and 3 months. So that was one hell of an injury he took in the Blood and Guts main event, which is a real shame because I really wanted to use him in a different storyline. Sorry, guys, my throat is drying up on me. So yeah, he's going to be gone for a while, which sucks. And I'm sure John Moxley's going to reference it once or twice in the next few weeks. You know, he likes to flex that kind of stuff. But just jumping back here, let's look at the champions. So the pure champion at the moment is Blake Christian. Since the beginning of the save, it's gone from Shibata, who held it for ages with 0 defenses, and then Blake Christian took it off him. Survival of the Fittest, I don't think they've done. Oh, they did. Juice Robinson won Survival of the Fittest tournament. The world champion at the moment is vacant because Eddie Kingston did recently defeat Claudio Castagnoli, which is mad. I think we mentioned that recently, that he was the Ring of Honor World Champion, wanted to be double champion. He has had to relinquish that belt. Couldn't even make an appearance to relinquish it because his injury is that severe. It's going to take a lot of rehab. But we have no world champion at the moment in Ring of Honor. So as and when there is a new champion, I'll let you guys know who it is. 6-man team. It's Claudio and the Lucha Brothers. I don't know how or why this happened. It just did. It was Omos and Private Party, which I thought was awesome. But I think Isaiah Cassidy got injured, so they had to vacate it. And for some reason, Claudio's teaming with them. It's mad booking, but that's a team that I don't think are ever going to drop the belts. Going back to the tag team titles, FTR defeated the Lucha Brothers, and they are tag champions here, having a lot more luck here than they are on the main roster. And then jumping to TV, it's Matt Cardona, who is our TV champion, which just makes sense, doesn't it? I don't know. It was obviously Samoa Joe. Juice Robinson won it and defended it for a little while, and it's been under Matt Cardona's ownership ever since. And then our women's champion is Athena. So she lost it to May Saruga a while ago. May held it for a very long time with only 2 defenses, and Athena has recently picked it back up. But enough of that. Let's go and see the show history and see what happened with Adam Cole in his first match. So here, Adam Cole immediately challenging Claudio and the Lucha Brothers for their World 6-Man titles. Adam Cole teaming up with Private Party, which is a pretty cool stable. It's like Adam Cole Party, that could be a thing. But let's just look at how well he did in the match. Remember, Man struggled to barely get a 69 with us. Adam Cole had an in-ring performance of 76. That's the highest performance he's ever had. I went through every match he's had since we've started this save. That's the highest performance he has ever had. And it's in his first show in Ring of Honor. I feel like Adam Cole's like trolling me or something. And no, that doesn't mean I'm bringing him back. He is going to stay in Ring of Honor for a little while because honestly, I feel like he could have a shot at the Ring of Honor World title. And I think that'd be pretty cool. Like storyline wise, and then we can maybe down the line bring him back up, and he could be a star. We hope that's the plan. He's still young, but he's still relatively young. He's 34. He's got another 5 to 10 years in him, realistically. So yeah, just wanted to show you guys that. bonkers, isn't it? It's crazy. But yeah, that's Ring of Honor. What's their best ever show? Actually, what's their best ever match? FTR Lucha Brothers. I mean, that makes sense. But yeah, that's enough of Ring of Honor. Let's jump straight to Collision. And we are here for Collision. And as mentioned earlier, we do have that huge main event, the one-on-one, no disqualification street fight between Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter, the match that didn't make the Blood and Guts card. We saw that El Generico and Keith Lee proved us wrong with an 87. Let's see if they can do the same. But we are on the pre-show to begin with, and it's Ashley Blackheart taking on Mia Yim in a pretty terrible match, but I can see that they don't click at all, so that's probably why. So the less said about this, the better. Moving on, we've got some tag team action, and it is House of Black taking on Lee Moriarty and Big Bill. Unfortunately, Moriarty and Bill can't replicate that 90 rated match they had the other week, but they get a 68, which isn't terrible, especially for the people involved. And Malachi Black with a 71. That's not bad at all. Big Bill with a 62, Moriarty with a 60, Brody with a 65. Nice. We'll take it. But that is the pre-show done. See? Nice and easy. If only they could always be like that. And we head straight into our main show when, of course, who else is going to open Collision than the new AEW World Heavyweight Champion, Jon Moxley. And he is out here with the rest of the Combat Club. Just, flexing the belt on his shoulder, talking about how it's been long overdue since he was rewarded this belt, and he knew that once he made his move, he would get the belt. He took advantage of a distracted Jay White, and he took advantage of that. He took advantage of the archaic, loose cannon nature of Eddie Kingston, who went and broke his back. He took advantage of that. And he took advantage of Adam Page for being such a nice little boy, letting him take his number one contendership, however many weeks ago it was. So Jon Moxley just proving that he's not just a good looking guy, he's also got the brains to back it up as well. And he bided his time and he earned this opportunity, and he's not planning on letting go of this AEW World Heavyweight Championship any time soon, especially with the Combat Club around him, who have been pretty dominant as of late. That Wheeler picture looks awful. We're gonna have to replace that. But yeah, that is pretty much all he says, and this leads into our opening match, which is Claudio and Wheeler in some tag team action, and they take on 2.0, and in a decent match, Claudio and Wheeler get the win. They defeat 2.0 in 15 minutes 38 with the neutralizer. Claudio with a 76, which is very nice to see. Matt Menard with a 62, Angelo with a 58, and Wheeler with a 67. A good start to the show with a 71 rated match. Not much else to say, so let's move on. And we actually have a title match tonight. Maki Ito hasn't defended her belt in like a week or two, I don't know, but she's got a title match and she is defending her belt against Tay Melo, the latest member of La Facción. And in a match that had decent wrestling but not much heat, Maki Ito gets the win in 16 minutes with the Ito special. But that wasn't it, and the reason why Maki got the win is because Tay Melo was very distracted, because over time, one by one, a different female wrestler from our roster came out. First, it was Emi Sakura. Then, Riho came to the ring, followed by Miyu Yamashita, and then finally, Suzume came to the ring. Tay Melo surrounded by Japanese women wrestlers when Maki Ito took advantage of that distraction and got the win, making defense number 2 of her TBS title with a 64 rated performance from Maki Ito, a 54 from Tay Melo, and a 62 overall. And you're probably wondering, why are all these women out? Don't worry, Maki Ito's going to tell us. She is announcing that she has her own army named the Ito Respect Army, and it looks like all of these women are core members of that army. What that means for the women's division, who knows, but I for one am quite excited about what these 5 women are planning on doing. 78 rated segment. Maki Ito's got great entertainment skills, so I thought I'd take advantage of that with this segment, and it's paid off. So yeah, these 5 women have now formed the the Ito Respect Army, and yeah, you wouldn't want to be a woman on the roster when there's 5 of these potentially targeting you, alongside, you know, the current TBS champion. And Miyu Yamashita, who's a beast in herself. Emi Sakura's mad good. I mean, they're all fantastic wrestlers here. Very exciting. Following this, though, we head backstage, and Tony Schiavone is speaking with Jamie Hayter about her main event match. And Jamie just says that she's looking forward to it. She's bummed that it wasn't on Blood and Guts, but that's just given her extra time to make some special preparations for Britt Baker, because Britt Baker isn't the only woman in AEW that is full of surprises. And she just walks off, and Tony's like, oh, okay, what surprise does Jamie Hayter have in store? We will have to wait and see. After this, though, we head back to the ring, and we've just got a simple match. Jeff Cobb's got really great momentum or form, whatever it was, so I thought we'd make the most of it and see how he fares against one of our best, Ray Fenix. In an 82 rated performance, Jeff Cobb gets the win. He defeats Ray Fenix with the Tour of the Islands. Jeff Cobb with a 72, Ray Fenix with an 86. And yeah, a decent match. 82, it paid off. I will take that. Good old Jeffrey Cobb, as he's known to his friends, because I am friends with Jeffrey Cobb. Following this, though, we have just got more just regular matches, you know, nothing related to a story. Nice little tag team match. La Faction didn't manage to win the belts at Blood and Guts, but that doesn't mean that they're done La Factioning. So they are in tag team action against the Acclaimed. And in a decent match, Andrade and Roosh get the win in 13 minutes when they pin Max Caster with the Roosh driver. Roosh with a 76, Andrade with a 77, Caster with a 62, and Bowens with a 67. This match got the crowd buzzing. Of course it would. You've got the Acclaimed in the match, scissoring everyone left, right, and center. 79 rated match, though. That's pretty good. No Sammy or Shinsuke in sight. Maybe they're given the night off. Tay Mello wasn't. Actually, Sammy was ringside with Tay Mello, who was probably just as confused being surrounded by Asian women. That hasn't happened to him since his 21st birthday party. We head backstage now, where Renee, I believe, is talking to Hangman Page. Going, Page, it seems like you're the only person that hasn't come out of that main event injured or hurt or, you know, showing any visible scars. How are you feeling? Are you still in the title race? Like, what's going on in the old Hangman head? And Adam Page just says, look, Jon Moxley is an incredibly smart individual. As he said earlier tonight, he took advantage of all of us in our own different ways. You know, nice guys don't always finish last, but I guess at Blood and Guts, I did finish last. Jay White has probably got bigger fish to fry when it comes to CM Punk, and I hope Eddie Kingston recovers. It's a nasty old injury that he took. But yeah, in terms of me, I'm not really too sure. The world title seems to be getting further and further away, and right now, I don't really know if I'm deserving of a world title opportunity. It's something I'm going to have to work hard and earn again, just like I did when I defeated MJF at All Out. So in terms of that, we'll have to see, Renee. But I'm just going to keep doing what I do best. Me and my amigo Bandido, we're going to keep putting on great matches and hopefully securing a number of wins. So yeah, pretty humbling interview with Adam Page here, being the good guy that he is. And yeah, him and Bandido still a little duo. We might see them having some more tag team matches because they could be fun in the tag division, but I'm sure Hangman definitely has at least one eye on that world title, because as of right now, we don't know who could be challenging Jon Moxley. We haven't seen Jay White yet this week, but you know, he's probably focused on CM Punk. Who knows? Eddie Kingston, we know, is out of the picture now, so is someone new gonna step up? Or are we going to get some rematches? I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see. Pac's always lurking in the corner somewhere as well, so who knows. Following this, though, we do head straight to our main event. It is Britt Baker taking on Jamie Hayter in a no disqualification straight fight. Not for a title or anything, just because they really want to fight each other. So let's see what happens. 78, decent. So in a decent match, Jamie Hayter gets the win in a no DQ match against Britt Baker with the Falcon Arrow. But during this match, she was not alone. She said she had a surprise. She said she was planning something, and Rebecca Knox ran in and attacked Britt Baker. Now, for all of you that are unfamiliar who Rebecca Knox is, maybe her gimmick, the man, has given it away. If it still hasn't, let's jump over to the next segment, and you will see that, yes, Rebecca Knox, aka Becky Lynch from WWE, is now All Elite, and she is close friends with Jamie Hayter. And Jamie has thought, you know, last time I faced Britt, she brought Demi Bennett. I figured I'd bring my own, you know, ammunition. I don't bloody know. So Rebecca Knox and Jamie Hayter stand tall at the end of AEW Collision over a beaten down, a bloodied Britt Baker. Very, very exciting stuff. We've got one hell of a women's division growing, and Rebecca Knox is just that cherry on the top. And that is how we end our show. Let's see how we did. An 81, that's fine. Anything 80 and above is a win in my books. More mellow show compared to Dynamite, but it was still good. We had some really good matches. The Ito Respect Army is a really intriguing story. Where that's going to go, I've honestly no clue, but we'll have to wait and see. I'm sure things between Jamie Hayter and Britt Baker are far from over, especially now with the inclusion of Rebecca Knox. And who knows if Demi Bennett wants to get back involved. There's every possibility of that too. La Faction getting their momentum back, Jeff Cobb riding that wave of good form, and Jon Moxley proving that he is possibly the smartest man in AEW right now, and also maybe the most dangerous. So yeah, that is how we end this week. We do actually have one final announcement that I forgot to add to the top of this card, and that is that we will be having and hosting the Owen Hart Memorial Cup tournament, and that will be starting next week. The bracket will be decided in between episodes, and we will open the show next week with the full men's and women's bracket, deciding who will be in and who ultimately will win the Owen Hart Cup for the men's and the women's division. And the winner will not just be the Owen Hart Cup champion, but they will earn a world title shot in the future to whatever pay-per-view is coming up next. I think it's Revolution, but I don't know if the cup will be done by then. But yeah, we've got that to look forward to. But thank you very much, guys. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.